Three.
Hi, how is everyone? We're the Book Harlots and we're back again. Tag team,
Hey.
back again. Oh, I just showed my age. I'm Eliza Mann, and my co-hosts are
AJ Norris.
Sage spelling.
all right. So we're back. We've been away for a little while, and we're coming back with like new content. We're going to shake things up and do a few different things in the coming weeks. But in the meantime, let's talk about what we've been up to since we last saw each other. When was it that we last
I feel like
saw
it's
each
been a year,
other?
like a year.
Had to be right because I feel like we were deep in the never never time when we we stopped. So
The
what have
big,
you guys been up
the
to?
Rona time.
The no time, the
Yeah.
upside down. So what have you guys been up to?
Well, not a whole lot.
Okay.
I think I only managed to write like one book last year. So I mean,
Okay.
but I'm really, really trying to, get that I gotta stop procrastinating and being an asshole.
Oh,
So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on something that I actually really am excited about. So we'll see.
very nice. If you figure out how to stop being an asshole, will you please send text my way? And I'll take all advice I can get. How about you, Sage? What you been up to?
Not much. I guess I've been reading a lot. And since the last time, I think I had the one book come out, which I don't even know. We might have been recording at the time. That's how I can't remember when. And then I finished one and I'm working on a second.
Okay.
But really that's it. I've been a hermit, watching one series after the other and
Yeah.
just hanging out at home. How about
Yeah.
you, Eliza?
I have I'm talking about what I have done. I haven't done a heck of a lot, but I am going to a polycon this year. So I'm very excited. First time a polycon attendee, but we do have good news because we're all going to Cincinnati to see Lassiter. Well, it's technically Covington, Kentucky, but we're going to see the Lassiter book come out. I cannot wait. If you guys are going, drop us a line in the comments, or if you see one of us, just come up and say hello. We would love to say hi to fellow BDB lovers and spend some time with you guys, and definitely sit and have a drink at the bar. I think we were going to talk about also like what we learned this week, and I'm drawing a blank, but you go first, AJ. You seem like you have your life together a little bit more than me. What did you learn this week?
I don't know if I have my life together, but you know, I realized that this is more of a self-discovery thing, though, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm I'm struggling with the fact that um I made choices in my life in the past that I regret now.
Okay. So like a
I'm not trying to make this really
or
deep or anything. It's just like I wish I'd done different things, and because of my stubbornity, I didn't do them, even though they were probably the best choice for me. I'm really talking to more of like career wise and things like that, and just like I'm not where I want to be
yeah.
as far as that's concerned. But I have writing, so that helps, and so, but
Yeah.
just realizing it has really affected my life, but anyway, I'm not trying to be deep. I'm just saying it was a
I,
And it's okay to be deep. Yeah, it's okay to be deep. Like I think we all sometimes wonder like there's certain goals that we were meant, we hit to a certain age, like I'm hitting, closer to a big number
right.
the next couple of
gotta be
Exactly.
years. And
early.
Yep.
I'm looking at it like, I should want it to be here and I should have been here. And these are the things that if I would have did this or that, but we
Right.
can't, we shouldn't focus on that. We should really
Right.
focus on, what we learned. And believe me, I'm a better person, and I know you probably feel the same way. You're a better person from learning the mistakes that
Right.
learning from the mistakes that we made, or the choices that we make. At the end of the day, destiny will always take us to where we were always meant to go.
That's
Yeah, I hope
right.
that's true. Yeah. That's a good way of
I would
looking at
agree with that. I think we all had those moments where we're like, go, why did I do that? Don't.
If
Oh, that was so stupid. That was so
if only.
right. And then especially like, things from when you're very, very young and you're like, I should have chosen this career, I should have chosen that career.
Right.
But to Sage's point, we became who we are and we're better people for it. You know what I mean? I think if you had done everything right, would you be as rich of a person as you are now? And I don't know that the answer to that. No one does, but all we can do is try to be better today than we were yesterday.
Right.
And that's how I'm trying to live, you know?
Mhm.
So,
That's
all right, Sage, what did you learn this week?
Not a damn thing.
Uh-oh.
I don't
Damn.
know,
All
except
right.
this week has been it's been really monotonous, right? So
Yeah.
I really haven't done, I was, worked the day job, and that's really, like every day, same thing.
Yeah.
So really I don't think I learned much. I learned that my Zoom doesn't like me. But other than that, I really don't have anything. How
Oh,
about you? Did you learn anything this week?
I don't I learned how to make rosemary squash,
Hmm.
which was better than I anticipated. So that's good. I also learned that eating pounds of Girl Scout cookies affects your blood sugar. Who knew? So yeah, we're gonna have to like put away the Girl Scout cookies. So I learned that, your labs really do tell everybody what you've done. So yeah, that was my lesson for the week. No matter what you say, no, I've been a good girl. I've been working out. I only eat salads. The Girl Scout cookies will show in your blood. So bless those Girl Scouts for selling me 6 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Let's fix my life. I hope my doctor isn't looking at this. Lord have mercy. Because I was like, what do you mean? Who was blood sugar?
They need to sell diet. Don't they? Do they Girl Scouts cookies sell a diet cookie?
So they have this site called oh my god, it's a site. I'll put it in the link. And it's not a promo, but it's like they sell uh girls school cookies, and they're like protein bars, and they have like 4 or
Oh.
5 carbs, and
Mhm.
they have like, you know Girl Scout-esque cookies, and they're loaded with protein, low carbs, and front rumor has it they taste a lot like Girl Scout cookies. So they have a thin mint version, they have a do-si dough version. So I'll put the link in the bio.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the protein count is on that.
I cannot remember. All I was thinking
Okay.
about was it's low sugar content and it tastes like a Girl Scout cookie. So I'm going to order it. I'll let you know
Okay.
how that turns out. So yeah, now that
Great.
I've shared too much information, guess what we're actually here to do? We are here to talk about the lovely lover Arisen. It's blurry. There he is. Look at that man chest. Look at that man boob. So
Right.
I'm gonna let AJ take over. She's running the questions tonight and gonna read the wonderful bio, and I will jump right into it.
Well, the blurb.
The blurb. So it's Girl Scout.
Let's see. Possessed by the demon Divina, Baltazar is once again on the hunt for the Book of Spells and fighting an unimaginable attraction to a woman. As a thief, he has stolen a lot of things, but he never thought his heart would be taken by another, especially not a human. As a homicide detective, Erica Saunders knows there is something otherworldly going on in Caldwell, New York. Mutilated bodies that cannot be explained are all over her case list. And then there are her nightmares, in which she's haunted by shadows and captivated by a mysterious man who is both a suspect and a visitor. When Davina's wish for true love is finally granted, Baltazar and Erica unwittingly become the gateway for the rebirth of an old enemy of the brothers? Will the very thing that brings them together lead to the ultimate destruction of the brotherhood? Or will they have to lose everything in order to save the race's most sacred defenders? Wow.
Drama. Here we go.
Well, there we go. There's that.
Oh my gosh. All right, I can't wait to talk about this book. So let's jump right.
So, I'm going to go into questions. We probably in the future will be a little looser in our discussions, but for now, because it's been so long since we read this book, we really need the questions to refresh our memories. So, I'm kind of going to skip around between the different storylines just because they really were all kind of
Jumbled up.
Story.
Yeah, they were really
Yes.
doubled.
yeah. And there was a particular storyline I think that probably all three of us were a little more fond of.
I loved it all, but there's no one.
So I'll jump right to it.
All right,
Everybody loves Nate.
everybody.
No, he's so cute.
I know.
Oh,
Okay,
fresh-
so I'm gonna
fresh-
start kind of with Nate just because we gotta get that. It was such a heart-wrenching storyline, I thought. So do you think Raven did the right thing by saving Nate from death?
Yes. I know. And you know, I'm a supernatural watcher. And I know that when you save somebody from death, there's always consequences and repercussions. But if she had not have, I would have been bawling to this day. I was thrilled when she went in and did it. And it, you know, it was kind of decent of her because she kind of sacrificed herself. You know, I was like, man, I hope she don't save him and then she check out. So I do believe that I would have done it if I could have, because he's so sweet. You know, we love Nate. So I do think she did the right thing. I also think there are going to be possibly repercussions.
I agree. I feel like, how could she not? You know, I mean, you have two grieving parents that are standing over this kid who had a really shitty life to begin with, right? Like he didn't really have a chance to live life at all, and now it's gone. And she has the capability of bringing him back. I agree. There's always consequences, and but in this world, not so much. So when we watch other shows or read other books that have they usually have consequences for someone coming back, but I haven't seen major consequences. Like Jane is back, she's a ghost, you know. So they're not major horrible changes. So we have that on our side. And then I feel like he also has what's his name that has gone through it too. I can't remember his name.
Savage.
Murder.
Savage. He has Savage to kind of like mentor him and like let him know what to expect. So that's good too.
Yeah. I think
okay, I'm asking.
I was gonna say, I think it's a blessing and a curse. I think it's like Nate said that he had gone through the door of the Fade and was ripped back out. So like I'm curious I'd like to see what happened to him while he was there, because time is different there. So I'm curious as to
That's actually a really good
was it just a split second, or was it
eons?
You know, did it feel like a long time?
I wasn't thinking that, although I do now I'm like, I wonder what happened to him and how long was he there? Like, you know, was it torturous? Like, was it hard? You know, because they go to that place before. Well, anyway, my thoughts were, though, he is going to. My question was rather, is he going to stand still for him? Right, because Savage he forever be this age, this person, you know what I mean, appearing for the rest of his life. So for me,
I thought the same question.
Yeah. So I feel like if that's the case, he does have some consequences, because, you know, that's difficult, right? And there's so many physical changes that occur for vampires. in this world, if he doesn't experience all those things, like, would that be a hint? You know what I mean? Like, it's challenging,
Plus,
right?
he's gonna outlive everybody.
And you outlive everybody, and that in itself, is you got to watch people that you love die, and will that make you like caged off and all of those things. So he's gonna go through some things. I do think the consequences, like you mentioned, Jane, and she's a ghost, but she had already like lived a while.
Right.
So but he's still technically a kid. I know he's older, but he's still
And isn't Jane and Mary tied to their fate is tied to their mate? So if their mate
so they
goes,
have to live through that.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, Mary has the option to stay now, I think, because of
Well, she's
the
always
child.
had that. It was said to her, like, when you're ready, you can choose when you die.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to follow Rage, or do you want to stay here and work out some things? Especially when it came to like when Rage, like, he died and his beast saved him, and she was like, I don't want to go, like, because she wanted to be there for me. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting, but I guess we'll see. I'm very nervous for him because of that.
So sticking with Nate, I kind of what do you think? Was Nate really heartbroken when he saw Laster and Raven embrace? Will this turn him bad, or is this just a growing pain that he needs to go through?
I don't think he'll turn bad. I do think the first time you fall for somebody, and then you find out they love another person, I do think he might be surly. It might be like F love, for a minute, because you like your
Right.
feelings are hurt. So I do definitely think he's gonna go through that kind of pain, because I don't think Raven would turn around and be like, I'm going to be with you, especially, so there's no shot, he friend zoned. And I think that hurt for a while, right? There's no shot there. So I think he's going to be in pain for a minute. And especially like if they do get together, it'll be painful, right? Like if they're going to be at the mansion, if they're going to all be together, if they're going to see each other at these huge events, it's going to hurt for a minute.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
It's gonna be like kind of like what happened with
Oh my God, you guys froze on me.
the Lassiter, but with like John and with Quinn and Blay, how it hurt Blay for a while, and when he sees him with other girls, I think that's gonna be kind of what we'll watch. But I think he's gonna be, I'm hoping that he kind of goes and does his thing with his his friend,
Truly.
said his name earlier.
Julie.
Yeah, and go out, party, and do the things, and I'm hoping that maybe he goes out and has some life experiences,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and maybe
yeah.
until he finds the one, right?
And I think he was really he's so young, because he's only like 20. Like, he transitioned very early because of the stress from his environment. And so that brings us to Shuli, his best friend. What do you think of Shuli?
I love him.
Yeah.
He reminds me, he reminded me of the boys, Blay and Quinn and John, when they were young. And it's fun to watch that, because you like that carefree, kind of, Nate is traumatized, obviously suffering still from PTSD a little bit, but Shuli is like, look at my sweet ass car, like he he's like very fun, so I think Nate really needs him. And I agree. I hope that they, can hang out, get some life experience. I just feel like, Nate has been so sheltered, and he hasn't been through anything really outside of, where he was being held, and then, his new family relationship.
Right. Yeah. So I think he's got a good support system. So I think that.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah. So yeah, like Shuli, I kind of see him as kind of fun-loving, like, kid, and
Mhm.
he's never had to want for anything, and he
Mhm.
doesn't really relate to Nate in that sense, but I think Nate likes the fact that he's different than him, he can just be, I don't know.
And probably that he doesn't have like any expectations, and he kind of doesn't look at him like pitying him. And
Yeah,
sometimes
no, definitely
you've been
not.
through a
Yeah.
lot of shit. You don't want people to look at you like, oh, poor little cage
Mhm.
boy.
Yeah, and Shuli's kind of been tasked with the role of kind of protecting Nate.
Hmm.
Not so much physically, because I get the impression that Nate's even bigger than Shuli is, but like
Yeah, I felt like that.
just protecting and like showing him like, you know, helping him not be so naive and to see, he's kind of takes on that protector role. So
Yeah, I like it.
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
glad
he's
to hear
sweet.
it.
I think he's really sweet.
yeah,
Yeah, I like him.
maybe he'll get a book one day.
Maybe I want all the kids to get a book, all
I
the
know,
children. Anyway,
I
sorry,
know.
I
Okay, so we gotta talk about Lassiter and Raven.
digress.
What do you think of the flowers that Lassiter grew for Raven? I thought that was just such a beautiful visual.
I don't know who I called. I don't know which one of you I was talking to immediately after that scene, but I was like, oh my
Mm.
God. I was shooketh. It took me, rocked me. First of all, and I know I'm probably jumping all over, but I had never seen this Lassiter. I had never seen this Lassiter before in all of my life. I had never known that his junk was giant. I had never known that he was so hot. I'd never seen him through Davina's eyes. I was like, oh shit, Lassiter, and that was shocking to me because I'm a very visual person, but I never imagined him beyond, his chaps and his kind of goofiness. So anyway, so the question was, I'm sorry, I went all the way off. But shit, what was the question? I'm so sorry. I'm
The
so
flowers.
sorry.
You love the
Oh,
flowers.
the flowers. I love the flowers. The flowers were amazing. It was like I could smell the flowers. And
Yeah.
it was so incredible. And I felt like that was like one of the best things he's ever done. And that's so stupid, right? Because he saved people's lives. But that was so incredibly moving.
Because it was romantic. It was so romantic, and you don't expect that from him, right? Like, because there was a scene you were talking about his clothes. There was a scene where he was going to standing outside of Raven's room and wants to go see her, and he's like changing his flip flops from Ariel and Tatiana to like
Mhm.
loafers, and he's like, that's what you see, right? You don't
Yeah.
Right.
see you see this goofy, silly, fun loving guy. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's great and the protector, and we'll travel to 1980 to bring us back a beloved person, but you don't expect that romance, that
Positive. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
romance.
The
That's what I
romance.
was
Yeah,
thinking.
and
The
I don't know.
romance.
I immediately I was like, oh my God, I want to fuck it. I never I never felt that, but no shade to Last. Like I knew he was cute, but I didn't know he was hot. And I guess we got to talk about Davina later, but what that her seeing him through her eyes for some reason made me be like, oh my God, what have we discovered? So okay, I'm done. No
yeah,
more.
I think so like with the flowers, like I'm trying to recall that Lassiter had said he wanted her to be surrounded by something beautiful. And I think I pretty much said it all.
Yeah, it was so amazing. And
Um,
yeah, that time too, I thought I want to fuck it. Okay, sorry.
I know, right? And so speaking of fucking,
Oh, okay.
do you wish you could have seen Lassiter and Davina fucking? Were you surprised Lassiter was a virgin?
I
I
had
did
a
not
problem with
want him
her
to.
sex scenes with Davina because they felt almost rapey. Because she takes him against her will. Like, I know it's hard to, like, but that's how it feels. So I'm kind of glad because he felt so violated
Yeah.
afterwards, I'm kind of glad we didn't see it,
Yeah.
you know.
Coming from that perspective, I think a lot of times we go, it's so violent for men to assault a woman. And sometimes when it's a guy, I think society is at times guilty of being like, well, it's a guy. It's still a violation. And I don't want to see, first of all, I love Lasser and I never want to see him be violated.
Mhm.
And Davina is Davina. And she has a way of like stepping over all the boundaries. She's an evil girl. So
Yeah.
no, I didn't want to see that because I felt it would have felt traumatic to me. And I'm not into the trauma. I wish it had never happened to him. I wish it had never happened to Baltazar. We saw a little bit more of Baltazar and Davina.
Yeah, I mean, it was consensual at first, so that's why it's like,
Yeah, but it's like dream
but it was
sex,
coerced.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but
right. I
when
agree.
when
Yeah,
when
that's
he
true.
wants it to stop, she should have stopped.
Right.
But she Davina. She just
Yeah.
I mean,
She can't take no for an answer.
she's basically a devil, right? Like,
yeah, she's a demon.
she's a
Demon.
demon. And I mean, I don't expect anything less from her.
Yeah.
And I actually appreciate her for the way she is, but I'm just really glad I didn't have to see
Right.
that on the page.
Especially, well, I think that's later on, but especially with the way he felt, it's
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
couldn't
Yeah,
take it.
he's I mean, poor Lassie.
I know. I feel so bad for
No.
him.
And he felt so ashamed that he
No.
felt like he didn't deserve Raven anymore, and that's so sad.
Yeah.
But
And then we see the flowers and
but
because he
but
felt like
really,
he was disgusting. And go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I just thought of something because I was playing back some scenes before while I was doing before we started, and there was where she talks about what triggered, you're going to get into these questions later, but
Mhm.
she talked about what triggered her her rambunctious power,
Mhm.
and it was a rape. She was raped.
Mhm.
So I feel like that is what's kind of like they're gonna heal each other in that way, I think. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, Raven and
Yeah.
Lasker you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. They definitely have some common ground that they're starting with. So okay. So what do you think of Lash coming back? And did the description of him through Davina's eyes kind of make you swoon, even though you hate that fucking dick? That
Yes, because
bag
she
of
always
dicks.
describes them so delicious. It's so not. So even
So
like
just- like but like the way that she described him, it was like, all right, I can get on with that, but he's just so vile that he can't. It's
As
hard
she
to see
was
that.
describing him, all I could think of was Hex. All I
Well,
could
that I
think
mean, I
of,
wasn't thinking about that, but yeah.
it took me there because I don't like him. And
No.
I did not think I want to fuck him. I did not. And I was like, being a girl.
no, but she has such a way of like sexualizing.
I get it. But and as bad as Davina is, I was like, girl, that ain't what you want. Don't do this to yourself. You already be counting lipstick tubes and shit. Like you already got issues. You don't need this kind of drama. I wanted to warn her. That's how much I hate Lash.
Yeah.
With Davina.
That's interesting you say that because you at that moment you felt sorry for her because
Yeah.
all she wants.
I actually wrote that down.
Yeah.
I wrote that down. I'm like, why does she always have to chase these men?
Yeah.
Poor girl.
She doesn't, all she wants is to love and understand what love is, because she really doesn't know what it is. She thinks it's possession and
and our man's bags,
yeah, she doesn't really get it. And this is not the person who's gonna
and I feel like I feel like she had an opportunity to turn back, and she just is so desperate to be loved by someone that she cannot help herself, right? So she did the spell, and she was like tortured by the spell, and and he came back, and I'm just like, that is the absolute worst thing that she could get. Like,
Oh.
no, I did not feel any kind of way. My nether regions didn't bubble or nothing. I was like,
Well,
girl, you in danger, girl. And that's
yeah.
where I was, and that's where I am.
I'm not saying that I wanted to get with him. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that the way he was described, it made him seem hotter than he actually is, because you just thick, you know.
I think he is like attractive. You got my son's dog is here. You can probably see him moving back there. He's like, why are you so loud? Anyway, I just felt like I just even though I heard everything she was saying, all I could see was like Draco Malfoy, or like I just could not find him attractive. I just couldn't. So maybe that's a failing in me. I missed the opportunity of liking a hot guy.
I mean, I think you shot low when you said Draco. He's more like a Voldemort, but
It's more like a Baltimore, but the description
Right.
was more like a Draco,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah, like good looking, but
yeah,
but
good looking,
cold.
but horrible.
What did you think of B's reaction to Lash? Because it just seemed like he was like, okay, well, you better hurry the fuck up because that's Lash. But not like he didn't make a big deal out of it. Maybe he was trying not to alert attention to himself, but
Yeah.
Lash, because they didn't know Lash only had eyes for Davina at that particular moment in time. But like, I don't think his reaction was, and we didn't hear about it later. That's what I want to know. I want to hear what they said to Wrath about it. I want to know what happened after this. You know, do the bastards understand who Lash was? Do they know that he was the one that was the perpetrator of those raids that they blamed Wrath for? You know, so how much backstory do they know about it? I'm just always curious about that.
I don't think they know a lot about a lot, right? I think they're just going through the motions. And I kind of felt like, I'm like, did he know that he kind of knew that something was going down, and they all felt something gross happening.
That's why they locked everything went on lockdown.
Yeah,
and
something
happening
even before. So so I think he already had gone through like, this is bad, the emotion stage. And whenever V is ready to do battle, he or getting ready to execute something, he's always very calculated, and the emotion is missing. And I think I feel like that's how he copes with shit, because he's been through some shit, So I think he like shuts down first, and then at the end he's like, fuck, I'm glad we made it out of that one, but I think he's in that stage now.
He's a soldier. So
yeah.
I'm also wondering if that was supposed to be kind of whimsical, that he didn't have like, but none of them really had a reaction, because he wasn't the only one there. So
I think they were, but I don't think they had time for a reaction, is what I'm getting. Yeah, like, it's like, like whenever you see something like, and they're in the middle of like a really bad thing happening, if they stop, it takes you away from that, and as a person, do you stop? Like, do you stop when something bad is happening? Like, if you're in a car crash, aside from hitting your brakes, stopping, like tensing up, trying to, brace yourself, the emotion comes after, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where he was. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with B. We're going to talk about that later, I guess. But B got some different stuff happening.
So I think it's the assumption, I think we already know that Lash is going to start making lessers. So did he, he said he wanted to finish what his father had started, but I kind of wonder how far is he going to take it? And the reason I ask that is because he's still a vampire. Don't you have a goddamn feeling about your own fucking species? I mean, he's only half Omega. He's only half demon. You know what I mean? So I don't, what the fuck, dude?
Does the demon take over? So okay, he been in Dunning.
Oh yeah, true.
Does the demon take over I got all kinds of shit going on in the background, but does the demon take over the vampires? Does the demon take over?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, when you're in a bad place and you're thinking all these bad things for however long he was on there, what it's been. Well, I feel like it's only been 3 years, right? Has it only been 3 years? Somewhere there's a timeline, but I feel like he's been down there for a while thinking all the bad shit about the people that put him there, and I think maybe that took over his vampire side.
But where was he? Because the Mega said he reanimated him out of himself. So was he dreaming? Was he thinking about this? Did he have that consciousness? We don't know, I guess.
Well, I think he mentioned something. He said something about being in Dunnan for 2 years.
Mhm.
Like it was his thought process. Like he said that. But
Yeah.
I think he's always had a revenge, right? Like he had revenge from the day one with John, and then he came back, and he's going to follow that same revenge, what do you call it? But I have a question for you guys.
Mhm.
You
Okay.
mentioned the Omega. What
Mhm.
about when he cut, like that scene, that first chapter? I was cringing the whole time
Wait,
when
what?
I was cringing the whole time when the Omega was cutting off his penis and letting it grow into like basically Lash.
I blocked it. I blocked it out of my mind until you just fucking said that.
Was,
Yes, I know.
It
That
was
was
ew.
so
It
vile.
was
I know.
so gross.
You know how you sitting there and you
I
like,
thought it was
no,
cock and
surely
balls. I don't think it was just his penis. Wasn't it both?
it was everything. I thought
I think
maybe
it was
I
like the
just
whole thing.
imagined. I think it was it's a clean slate down there now, and
Well, he's dead now, but he's
I mean
gone.
he's dead,
He does not die. He does
but-
not die.
energy never dies. Okay?
Yeah.
No, but his form has been destroyed.
Yeah, he doesn't have. Yeah, but first, you know how you just thinking like, surely this isn't what's about to happen. Surely it isn't, and then you just keep going. It was like a train wreck. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, please don't do this. Yes, I cringed. I kept reading, but I cringed. It was so wild.
Yeah, it was
How
was mortifying. I'm
passionate,
sorry.
though. How passionate do you have to be about
I'm still scarred. Huh?
The
how
Bobbit.
dedicated to a cause do you have to be to do something like that, though? Like I'm like, sir, you couldn't figure out enough.
He was like, on my dying breath, I'm gonna make sure my sister's creations are still getting tortured.
I'm giving everything I got. He gave
So
it
worst sibling rivalry ever.
so gross. So gross. But yeah, he was dedicated. I can't stand a moment of discomfort. So, but he has a history of cutting shit off. He cut his finger off, stuck it in bilge. You know, like he just a spicer.
Cut his hand off and gave Lash a new hurt.
Yeah.
He just a cutter. He's a cutter.
He's the cutter.
Bitch.
Okay, so let's okay. I'm done talking about Lash because he just is
Okay, it's so gross.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So with the book, so Raven was drawn to the book, but didn't seem to want to cast any spells. Did the book really want Raven to save it? Was she correct about that? Because that was kind of something, that's why she wanted to get rid of it. Are they kindred spirits, her in the book? And you know, she kind of felt like she was a prisoner of her curse or what happened to her. You know, where do you think she took the book, and why the fuck did she think she needed to leave? I know it's a lot of fucking questions, but
It was. I'm like, where I want to start with that. Sage, you go ahead.
Okay, so the book and her, I think they're both not good or not. They're just really powerful. Neither are good or bad, and I think that's why they're a good match, and that's why they call upon each other. Where she was going, I have no idea, because she never answered that question, like where she was. When Savage asked her, she kept saying, "I'm between." What was she saying? Between timelines, between
she was in time or something.
In time, what that means, I don't know. Does she go back, if she can travel through time, does she go back to when her life was easier, happier? Like, I don't know. I have no idea where and why she had to leave now. She felt out of place. Didn't feel like she had a place because she never really felt like she belonged where she was.
Yeah, but I feel like that was in her own head because everybody did everything they could to welcome her.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
that was her own personal issue.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I got a different take. So I'm a big sci-fi person, and when she said timeline, all I could think of was Loki on in Marvel, and I was like, "Fuck, she's in the metaverse!" And I every time I see the metaverse, I get like super excited. I'm like, "That metaverse!" So I felt like that's where she was going, and all I could picture is her like kind of meandering through space and time, and not really being anywhere but being everywhere at once. And I think that's the type of power that she has. And I also think the reason she left is because she knew with the book, is because she knew that both of them, their place there is dangerous. I felt like she could be a danger. She knew the book was a danger. I don't think she did spells because she knew, I know the book, I know the book has done some things like the book don't really seem to love Davina. You know what I mean? Like it feels like the book has like a good side and a bad side, but I feel like they're each other's yin and yang. So I do feel like she's pure light. I hate to say it like this, but pure light, and the book is pure darkness, and they kind of need each other, just like the Scribe Virgin needed the Omega to be there. And I think that's a
Interesting take.
continuation of that. At least that's how I see it. Like, they never really tried to kill each other, and it kind of just fizzled out. I feel like, while Lassiter is in the space, I think she is closer to what the Scribe Virgin was, and the book is closer to what the Omega was, although they have obvious differences, right, between the two. So I think that's what's happening, but that could be a stretch because I'm real sci-fi, but I feel like that's where they are now too, like riding the space-time continuum, and
I
never.
really like that thought process. I think that it could be, because where else? I mean, it would make sense that she would do something like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
backtrack
though.
a minute. With the book gone and Lash to obsess over, do you think Davina will be less of a problem?
No, I think
I don't think she's that big of a problem, but yeah.
I don't think Davina
I
ever
think she's
got
gonna
stuck in
help
the book.
him get what he needs. So he's going to know that he's gonna eventually learn what her capabilities are and her shadows and all of those things. And she loves to torture anyway, so she's gonna help him with his agenda.
Yeah,
I
I think, but also she messes with humans too, so I think that she's just gonna be all over the place, and yeah, she's gonna be like a pain in the ass, but I don't think that she's unreasonable, but I don't think she does anything without an ulterior motive. As you've seen in the Angel series, that was how she was, is that, yeah, she helped them at one time to get somebody out of the in-between or purgatory, they called it there. But it was because she was doing a favor and she was getting something in return. So, but she's not unreasonable. Like the Omega is just kind of just an idiot, although I don't know, maybe he's not so unreasonable. I think Lash is going to be less reasonable than both of them.
I didn't go that far. I just wonder how, with egos like theirs, how they could tolerate each other. Like she thinks she wanted because he like good looking and all of that.
Right.
But I think Davina struggles with not being the whole show. And I think Lash will struggle with not being the whole show. So I feel like their entire existence,
Mhm.
trying to be together, they just gonna spend like hate fucking each other and like, constantly walking away from each other. Like that's how I see their relationship go, because I don't think either of them have enough space for anyone else. As much as Davina seems to love, her idea of love is possession. And, I don't think someone like Lash, first of all, she's not used to anybody equaling her strength.
Mhm.
And him, that was a shock for her. And I think it turned her on a little bit, but I just don't think that ain't gonna be long term. I feel like they might end up killing each other, or
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't think she's as strong as Lash, and I think that the only reason she was able to destroy the Omega is because he was so weakened from Butch that
Yeah.
I think she took that as she made it seem like it was a favor that she was doing to the Brotherhood, but it was an ulterior motive. She was doing that because she wanted to get rid of the Omega so she could have Caldwell to herself,
Yeah,
because
and
she cannot
also-
have the whole of the world because she lost that war with the Creator. So in
Yeah.
the Angels, if people
So
are
you,
familiar, they
so
would
you,
agree.
you said something
So-
interesting though. If we can expand on that?
Yeah.
You say you don't think Davina is as strong as Lash,
Oh.
but Lash was created by the Omega, and Davina and the Omega were created by the same entity. So you don't think that puts Davina up on the Omega's level? You don't. Okay.
No, I think she's lesser than he was.
Mhm.
I think, and it's also like Lash didn't have any trouble leaving her prison. So obviously he's strong, right?
The book helped him though. A little.
No,
Oh,
it
you
didn't.
mean in the house? You mean once he was here? Okay.
Yeah, once
got
he
it.
was here, yes. He had to, I mean, he needed a gateway to get to Earth, but I'm saying like with the book, but once like she was in another dimension, her apartment is in another dimension, and he had
Right.
no trouble opening the door and walking out. And
Uh,
Yeah, like because he instantly knew he was in Caldwell. He instantly knew how to maneuver the locks to leave. Yeah.
but knowledge doesn't necessarily make you stronger. I think Davina might have been unprepared because ain't nobody ever. She's. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, but she
I've
wasn't
always
trying to
felt like
stop
she
it.
was like their kid sister. Like, I don't know. Like, I've always felt like she was like, like you got the twins, the Omega and the Scribe Virgin, and then the little
Right.
sister,
Right.
the bratty little sister. That's kind of pretty much how I always pictured her. Like the
No,
bratty
I
little
think that
sister.
I think she's powerful, but I don't think that when Omega was in his prime, she was as strong because she would have overpowered him or
Yeah.
she would have done
I
something.
mean, and I can see that because she never was able to create, like they are. So I can see that, but I just, I don't think I thought along those lines. I just feel like, somehow, some way they might destroy each other.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Here's
hopefully.
hoping.
Yeah, here's hoping. But we'll see, I guess. We're gonna see. I don't know. I'm very worried for Lassiter. Okay, go ahead with the questions, but I got a point that I'm gonna make
Okay,
it.
so we really probably should talk about the main love story.
Oh yes. There was a main love story there.
So what was your first impression of Erica in the last book compared to this book?
I think when she was in, I feel like she was almost like broken, like questioning herself a lot more. The first time you met her, she was like super confident, super strong. But then she knew something wasn't right. And she was like a little bit, sliding down this slope of, am I insane? Am I crazy? Like we see so many times with humans once vampires have messed with their memories. So yeah, I saw her as a little vulnerable, and I had not seen that before.
Yeah. And we see her vulnerability right up front, besides them playing with her head, with her past being confronted with a case that was like her past. And you saw her, first coming in like a hard ass and then like having to go throw up in the bathroom. So you see this like shift in her barrier. And it's nice to see it's nice to see layers of like a woman being strong but also being vulnerable too.
Yeah, I think the kind of I mean, I think that she was being a cop in the first book, so you didn't really get a chance to see her like her private moments. And so I think that maybe that it probably was already always a part of her, but in this book you find that okay, she has this vulnerable side. And I think that made her more accepting of Balthazar because like I don't remember what her reaction was to him being a vampire other than, oh, makes sense. you know,
Well, I think, was that relief?
correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't really remember that.
No, what I felt like that was relief because she was like, "You ain't right. You're not human. Something is not right." And I know that's against all logic and reason, but I felt like it was like relief when she found out that he was a vampire and he was affecting her memories. Well, they were affecting her memories, and to confront the way that she did, I feel like when he was like trying to like, tell her what to do, she was like super strong with it. I felt like she was feeling, when she found out finally, she felt so much better. That she wasn't actually losing her mind. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and then a lot of weird things happen too, right? So they were in the bookshop, and Davina was pretending to be that old man, and then all of a sudden she wasn't that old man. Then there was those weird shadows, and then he gets shot, and then she gets that gold like healing power in her hand. So all this supernatural shit already happened to her by the time she found out
like,
that
oh,
he
you
was a
just a
vampire. She's like,
vampire.
oh.
You just a vampire? Great.
Because I was
I
really
thought
thrown
you were
off with what was
something else.
happening.
Yeah, she was like, "Phew, just a vampire."
Damn. Maybe I can keep you.
Right. Right.
I'm glad you're not a demon, and you're not
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And then at that point, and then when he does tell her he's a vampire. He's like draped in a sheet, completely naked. And when she got up to help him, that sheet slipped off.
And I have
And
to say
what I cracked up was he got mad because she hadn't said anything about his nether regions.
yeah, that was the best. He's like, have you seen me? I am Balthazar.
Right.
And these are my balls. So
Right.
yeah.
and they are.
These are my big balls.
Big balls.
And my nickname is Balls. So
You're right.
Oh my God. Balthazar's balls. Anyway, so yeah.
So the creator saved Erica. Do you think that we should have seen the conversation between him and Davina? Because Davina, because he interfered with Davina and what she was doing. So I don't know. I'd like to have at least seen Davina's reaction and her side of the conversation. So I would have liked to have seen that. But
Well, I agree, because I remember seeing that in we used to get the conversations with the creator, right? When she gets scolded, we would get that in that other series. What was it called? The Angel series, right? And I think it would have been a cool little like flashback for us to get a little bit of that, especially knowing that that creator is the same creator that created, the Sky Virgin and all the others. It would have been cool.
I would have liked that too. I think, but I do understand. Sometimes sometimes we knew what he was saying, so I don't know. I mean, I think I would rather see him do some other things. So I didn't necessarily need that conversation because I knew what he was telling her. Like, you can't fucking do this. He probably wouldn't say.
yeah, because he could end her, and he had told her. Like the end of the, at the Angel series, she was warned. Don't you fucking do this, because
again,
she was locked up for a while too, right?
She is.
Yeah.
Out here doing the same old thing. Is she
Yeah.
ever gonna learn though? I don't think Davina's gonna learn.
No, she's just
Davina just
good.
Davina's just gonna Davina.
Yeah,
It's gonna be her, and I mean, she's an interesting layered character, but
she really is. She's a very
I think that I'd like to see more of those layers. And I mean, it's funny, like in the Angel series, she was seeing that therapist who was actually the creator, and I just like,
yeah. I kind of that I would love to see. Like, I love the therapy scenes, and I do kind of miss, like, this book was the first time in a few books that we got to see her OCD on full display. And I miss her OCD. She absolutely needs her OCD. That's very much who she is. So yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Siphon, because we got a little bit more of him in this book, and he has a problem, even though he's this like highly skilled sharpshooter, has no qualms about shooting people, has trouble making eye contact. but he's very good looking according to Balthazar. So what the fuck is the deal? What do you think's going on with him? He's just insecure? What, something deeper? What?
I just feel like, sometimes staring at people in their eyes like gives people a glimpse of who you are. And I'm not comfortable with everybody seeing who he's at. Like the eyes are the windows to the soul. When you look
Right.
people directly in the eyes, sometimes it feels intrusive. And maybe that's just his, that's his boundary. Let me keep people out of my shit. So, and I also thought, even though he wasn't giving people direct eye contact, I wanted to fuck it. So there's that. Yeah. So
I agree with Patty that I agree with Patty with the whole eyes are a window to the soul. But and then if anything else, maybe because we don't really know a lot about him, maybe there's some secrets of his own. Maybe there's some stuff we don't know. Maybe he's hiding something from Balls and doesn't want him to, like if I look my friend directly in the eye, she's gonna know when I'm lying. Like sometimes your friends know you that well. So maybe there's something he's keeping. I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
So
Eventually.
I hope.
Eventually.
Yeah. Because I want to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say that about any other character tonight, because that's two, and that kind of makes me look suspect, But I do. That was three: Balthazar and Lassiter. And
can I let's just be honest? I think we would all say that we would probably all of them. There's only like maybe Lash.
That's it. Lash.
Yeah, and
and the Omega.
I want to express some concern that I have.
About what?
So we've heard lately from J.R. Ward's talks and things that she's talking about, and like the Caldwell Courier journals that she sends out every month, the newsletter, and it's like she's mentioned like pretty much everybody in the mansion but the bastards, particularly Siphon and my boy Zephyr. Is she killing them off? Are they gonna get their own?
No.
She better
What's
not.
your tongue? She's not killing them off.
Such a thing. Oh. Zeus, come be my emotional support dog. Thank God he came. Come here, sweetheart. What do you mean, kill a bastard? Have to get my huggies. No, she's not. God. No, the warden would never. No. Please no. Okay, okay, sit, baby. Okay. Yeah, I hope not. I certainly.
Or the thing with the eye contact, does he do that with everybody? Or is it maybe he's in love with Balthazar and doesn't want him to know?
Wouldn't we have gotten that though already?
No, not necessarily.
No, not quite. Not if he kept that quiet.
Yeah.
And we've never gotten his POV. We've never been in his head.
Hard.
No.
That's hard. I hope he's not in love with Balthazar and then Balthazar doesn't know. Oh my gosh. That would be heartbreaking. I don't.
Jeez, AJ, you totally
hey, you
messed
like
with our head today.
First with the killing of the bastards.
Right.
And then
now you have a poor.
Better not. I'll be devastated.
I would be devastated. Like it would be no consoling me. I haven't been that sad since Selena. And I can't go down these dark roads. I pray that that's not happening.
So that brings me to the last question.
Okay.
After Lassiter's book comes out, what do you think the next book will be about? Or who?
Zephyr. Okay.
Zephyr or Siphon, I think.
Yeah.
I think Siphon.
We haven't get
that's who she's mentioned the most in the last couple of books too. So
Siphon.
I feel like, yeah.
Did we get the twin story?
No, we never got them. They disappeared with him.
I think it might be though. She's
Zephyr or Siphon?
No, she's gonna go back to doing the brothers again. And for some reason, I don't know where I heard this or where I have this in my head. It could be something that somebody else was hypothesizing about. I thought that she had mentioned doing a book with Zetas, Z being the thing.
Really?
I don't know where the hell I got that from, so I could be way off
It
base.
was a
but
dream. It was a dream.
was
No,
it a
I'm just
dream?
kidding. I don't.
That would be amazing. I miss him.
I
I miss
know, he's awesome.
Yeah, because like I feel like too lately it's always V that we always get V. Like he's the one that's mostly mentioned. We don't get like, and then once in a while Rage because they talk about food. That's the only time they bring Rage up. Usually food. But I feel like we don't get to hear anything about
We saw a little revenge. We saw a little revenge.
Yeah, and that was in Savage's book, Lover and
Yeah. So we saw a little of that. Now I'm going back to see like when the last time was. So we got like a full on like besides V, because it's been V and Jane for a while. I kind of would love to see Revenge and Elena, although I'm supposed to be Elena, but I would love to see, and I would love to see a Sale and Bobo, and I still want Bobo and Fritz. My God, why did I forget his name? Don't tell him because he'll be crying. I wanted him and Bobo to like at least cook a couple recipes together. Like at least do something like that.
Oh my God, that would be like the cutest thing. They'd be in the kitchen cooking together.
And I think Bobo would break Fritz's soul though. You know what I'm saying? Because she like a guest, and he would be like, please don't. And I would love to see that back and forth. So it's ridiculous, I know.
That would be such a cute little side story. Even if it was like just a few scenes in a book, that would be awesome. And I think Volva knows. I think she is no fool, and she knows the vampires.
I feel like she's one that would look at Cypher and like would stare dead in his soul, like, oh, I know. Like, be the one, Oh my gosh. All the things there. If we could just have one book that like is kind of like maybe just a soup of a weekend, like a long weekend with nothing happening, and we just all up in their business. That would be nice.
That would be cute. Yeah, just to see like go from like one bedroom to the next. Just check on each couple.
Oh my God, that would be so awesome.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. So it'd be like, I don't know, somebody that's like checking on every single person in the house, but like floating through so they don't know that they're there.
Or a surprise party, like they planning a surprise party or something like that. Like I feel like
we kind of got something similar when Biddy was kind of asking people for their opinion.
I loved it with the and then it was Christmas, right?
And the opinion of the case for the
it was one of the winners,
yes, a winner or something like that.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I loved it. So yeah, something like that where it's not so intense. I mean, it can't be like a sweet contemporary, no shit like that. But it just like a break where we get to see them being at ease at times. And I think we do get to see that from time to time, but it's been so intense lately with the mansion being like, and all the
lockdown.
Yeah, it's been intense. So I just want them to have a break for a minute.
Yeah, I missed their like meals at the table, and all the shit talking back and forth, and
that's how I like. We were reading the Caldwell Courier Journal this month, and it was nice to see that arguing between V and Lassiter, and it was just really nice, and I just enjoy that too. I like, as much as I know that their world is dangerous, I do like for them to have like a little chill moment.
Do you know what my favorite, I think one of my all-time favorite chill moment scenes is when all the females in the house go to watch a movie, and they all watch Magic Mike, and the guys are like outside the room really angry.
Oh my God. I think I like when they were trying to get Hex dressed up. Yeah, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that one too. And I miss going out to the pit with V and Butch when they're out there like having their drinks and just being ridiculous, and all of Butch's clothes and all of that.
I'd like to see more of the trifecta, which we don't see a lot. Every once in a while she'll mention that Rage and Butch and V are together, but like in the first few books, they were like,
Always.
like, thick as thieves. So
I know that their lives change, right? Like,
yeah, but still, they
Rage
gotta
is
have their
a
moment,
dad,
right?
and I think Rage is trying to balance dad shit and not be like, thank goodness Biddy likes ice cream. But I get that their lives change, but I do think, just like in regular life, even though you're like a couple, sometimes it's nice just to chill with your friends. You know what I mean? So I want to see that. Maybe we can see that one day. Exciting.
So we will see you all in Cincinnati on April
Yay!
15th.
So excited. This is my
And
first one.
we'll have our book Harlots t-shirts on, and
Yes.
we have a new logo. So
Stay tuned for
we're
that.
gonna have some big changes, hopefully with our Zoom cast, podcast, whatever you call it, cast.
Mhm.
So-
It's gonna
So,
be fun.
anyway, so it was nice chatting with the girls and all of you. So we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.